warriors, I have to jump on and share with you a most exhilarating experience because, we talk about child safety, teen safety, parent safety, families, digital partnerships, predators, and it's overwhelming. It's dark. It's ugly. It's the reality in 2025. Things you need to know about. We at the Warriors, we try to provide you with what you may not hear elsewhere, but also we like to give you food for thought. We want you to think about these things. We want you to talk to your kids. That is the number one thing you can do to engage, educate, and empower your child and teen. Let them know they can come to you. Why let the predators, the strangers, come to them? This is the problem we have with our youth feeling isolated and our youth turning to strangers online. That's the bottom line. We got a lot of problems there. What I want to share with you is I just got back from Washington, D.C. I had the most empowering couple of days. I was so honored to and thankful to be called upon to be the MC for the Human Trafficking Summit of the Attorney General of the state of Virginia, Jason S. Mayoris, by my good friend Tanya Gould. I had to stop for a minute because I'd almost cry when I think of Tanya Gould. She is a survivor leader. She's the director of human trafficking in the AG's office in Virginia, anti-human trafficking efforts. She is one of the most fantastic people I have ever met. Her spirit. She is one of love, of giving, of teaching. So generous. She's really just a special warrior. And she asked me, Lynn, would you want to come and would you want to do this? And what this summit is the theme of it was the dignity mandate. And I said, sure, whatever you need. When I get a call from Tanya or other warriors, I am there. Okay, I don't know. I may not even know what it is, but when I am called upon for service, I am there. I figure out the rest later. I'm sitting on the train the other day going down to Washington, and it's like a light bulb went off. I said to myself, we have to talk about dignity? Let me look up the definition of dignity. Maybe it changed in the last few years, as the meanings have changed to confuse people. No, the meaning of dignity has remained the same. And I thought, wow, that we actually have to go back and talk about giving all people dignity, of being there for those who don't have any dignity and filling in the gaps and letting them know we're there for them. This was a summit bringing together advocates, survivors, professionals, law enforcement, government officials. Governor Youngkin and his wife Suzanne were there. They are very passionate and hardworking, just all deeply in about human trafficking. Also is AG Mayoris. He is all about human trafficking. It was such an honor to be in a room full of people, men, women, that think like a warrior, giving hope. Virginia is definitely a leader fighting all of this evil. It was also refreshing, I dare say, to open up a day where people gave praise to God. And I'm not saying, overly zealous and all that, but just that a lot of them would say, I'm thanking God for leading me here. I'm thanking God. I'm turning to him to help with all of this. It was just refreshing. It was freedom coming from New York City to be with like-minded people, all with one goal. I've never felt this much power in a room. And everybody, because we talk about the warriors, and as I opened up the summit, we talk about this true this collaboration. There's not true collaboration. I really thought when I started the Warriors, this would be easy. This would be a no-brainer as far as everybody could get on board. We live in such a divisive environment, right? In the last 10 years, I'll say. Yeah, 10 years, especially. And I think you know what I mean. And the Warriors officially started in 2020, even though I was doing some work beforehand, but officially as a nonprofit. And I thought, well, this crime against humanity is something everybody will be screaming in the streets about, especially with our children, and they'll say no when I learn the facts of what goes on right here in the United States, and they'll get on board. They'll collaborate. And my idea for the Warriors was spreading education, using the media, going on shows, doing a YouTube channel, just sharing information for the public so they can get on board in their overwhelmed environment and have food for thought or resources, right? And then I learned everybody talks about collaboration and community, but they don't do it. I continued to do it. I thought I would be a cheerleader. A lot of groups are in place that do direct services for survivors, or health care, or also law enforcement. I'm not that, but I'll be a cheerleader for them. I'll promote them. I'll bring them to the table. We will plug in those holes. And if we save one child, one person, educate one a day, we've done our jobs. And then I learned nobody thinks like me. Very few do. I continue to chip away on a daily basis. I will never give up. My way of thinking is the right way. But as I arrived for the summit, the dignity mandate, I was overwhelmed and lifted up by these wonderful people. And they're so gracious. I mean, people hold doors. Men call me ma'am. Everybody smiles. Everybody eye contact. And we're talking, a couple of hundred people. And they were very receptive to me because my friend Tanya Gould said, "Do you want to MC?" I'm like, "Sure." And then I said, "Are you sure you want me? Because Tanya, you know me and I speak truth and I speak reality and I call people out. Do you want that?" And she said, "Yes, I do." And therefore, I boarded that Amtrak train. I put on those high heels. I took that stage. I did my thing. There's a lot of work to do. People received me. People liked the way I was. I'm not used to that. I'm in New York, where there's pushback or there's no communication. There's no real work being done in this field. There's a handful of people I can think of in New York that are actually doing work. But the collaborations is there. My way of thinking is there. It was welcomed. And to the state of Virginia, and to Governor Glenn Youngkin and his wife Suzanne, and to AG Jason Mayoris, my hat's off. No pun intended. I'm wearing a hat today. To the great work they are doing, how they're including everybody. They're learning. We had a young man who started coding and working with AI at the age of 13. He's now 22, 23. He got up and gave a presentation. Our great friend Marcel, Dr. Marcel Vanderwaat from the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, our great colleagues, our allies, our friends, he gave a wonderful 1-hour presentation. He's from South Africa originally, hostage negotiator, law enforcement, and he broke down dignity. And he had maps and things. I'm going to be posting a lot of pictures and things like that all week long. I didn't want to do everything at once. It's too overwhelming. I'll put things out each day. For 1 hour, I just sat there, with my mouth open, just looking at these charts and looking at what he was saying about dignity and the pillars of different things that we should adapt into everyday thinking. So I want to share that with you. And then we had a panel on foster care, something we must reform. Everybody knows it, ready to go, not working. It's happening though. Reform is coming. Reform has already started. So more talk about that, more discussion about that, more dismantling of these places that are abusive to kids. It was just such a powerful. We had some sports stars, a gold. We had a medal, an Olympic, a woman. I should list it all out. I'll put the videos out. I'll just leave it. We had a sports panel and how sports play into these people in sports are using their platforms now to talk about trafficking, because we had a male and a female, and one was a baseball player, one was a volleyball player, and they both said they have a large platform. They want to create awareness. They want to do something more with their audience. It's there. There's a higher power directing them. So that was interesting. We have the World Cup coming up in my home state of New Jersey, nearby. And so we're figuring out, we know trafficking happens it increases at all of these sports events. And here's the difference. So we've been talking about this a long time, whether it's the Super Bowl, all these different things. But now so many people are aware and they want to learn, and we're going to have signage. And people are going to know if they see something, for instance, at this World Cup, what to do. So I'm saying more of the public is aware, more of the law enforcement's aware, more visuals. Remember, people are visuals. So if they see billboards with phone numbers and things, they'll report, right? So I found this so uplifting. I wanted to share that with you. And just the good work being done by the state of Virginia. And as we plug along, we are plugging the holes to help people. I've never felt so positive about the work we do to help others. It is 2025. It's a different country we live in, a different world. It is time for everybody in the United States to step up and do something. Something does not always mean money. Yes, it's great if you make a donation to the Warriors to further our empowerment of survivors, our educational programs, our travel. But if you just share this video and leverage your platforms for good, that's a take action. If you talk to your child with some concrete information, remember, share facts, not fears. That's a warrior's move. If you volunteer, that is a great move. If you're in a church and you light a candle for somebody, that's a great move. Even, just trafficking as a whole. There's so many things that can be done for free, but it starts with raising awareness, it starts with discussion, and it starts right now. Don't let the predators win. Remember, human trafficking, slavery, the enslavement of people, that is a much more descriptive word. This is organized crime. It is so much bigger. It is not just that person running amok. Sure, you hear the stories. This one got arrested for this one got arrested. But these are organized crime rings, terrorist organizations. Think of the cartels. This is now their number one business. They run trafficking of people, of drugs, of weapons. Keep an eye out in your home, in your community. Start with talking to your kids and your grandkids. And let us all come together. Remember our hashtag, Community Creates Change. It's working. Join us. And when you wake up each and every day, go out and always be a warrior.